Hello everybody, it's your boy Redstone9 here and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video we're going to be checking out the brand new Minecraft 1.21.4 update which released a few days ago. And it's been called the Garden Awakens update, which adds in a new biome, a new mob, some new blocks, and other things. And this is pretty much the second update to add in some new stuff since a month ago we got a mini update which was called the Bundles of Bravery update, which, if you didn't see that, which obviously added in these new items called bundles which you can stack up to 64 items. Now, before we get into today's video checking out the new things this update has to offer, you know the drill. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that, guys, we're just gonna jump right into it. So let me just quickly grab something from my campsite, which is this book right here. And we are going to start off with the brand new biome, which is called the Pale Gardens. So a little bit about the Pale Gardens. It is a new type of dark forest biome that is filled with these new pale oak trees, new type of moss, and a new hostile mob that can only be found in this biome. Also, all animal mobs do not naturally spawn in this biome, but hostile mobs can, so keep that in mind. It creates a bit of a creepy atmosphere, where when you enter it, the music fades out, if on, and in the daytime, the sky turns gray. So, right now you see that the sky is bright blue, right up there, but when I enter the forest, look above, it's all gray, which is very spooky. Okay, so with that, let's head in and check out some other new stuff. So we got new wood type, which is called Pale Oak. And pretty much like all other wood types, this can be crafted into other wood variants, as you see in front of you. So this is the Pale Oak log right over here. And this is the Pale Oak sapling. So pretty much just like a dark oak sapling, Pale Oak ones grow in a 2x2. So pretty much that means you need to have the saplings like this and then use bone meal for it to grow. Because as you can see, they're like 4 blocks, just like that. So you also got Pale Oak wood, and you got the stripped version. You got the planks, trapdoors, buttons, doors, pressure plate, stairs, slabs, fence gates, fences, boat and boatwood chest, and of course signs and hanging signs, which look pretty good with that pale white color, I must say. And we also got this new type of moss called the Pale Moss Block and the Pale Moss Carpet, which, just like regular moss, if you put moss, 2 of them in a crafting table, you get the moss carpet. Or there's another way to do it, which requires bone meal. So pretty much you can bone meal this type of moss, and it doesn't have to be in this biome specifically. But when you bone meal this, as you can see, the moss kind of spreads around, and that's how you can also get carpet from it, which is pretty nice. And there's also a new type of moss called the Pale Hanging Moss, which only grows naturally under these pale oak leaves, as you see right here. So if you have shears or a tool with silk touch, you can easily get them for yourself, which adds a nice little creepy feel to it. Oh, another cool thing about the carpets is that when they're up against blocks like this, you can see they kind of make a little vine sort of effect like that to show that the moss is spreading. Okay, so with that, we're gonna go over the new flower that's been added that's called Eye Blossoms. So the Eye Blossoms are a new type of flower that can only be obtained by using bone meal on grass blocks in this biome. And these types of flowers are reactive to the Minecraft day cycle, which during the day time, they are closed, but when it's nighttime, they open. So this is what they look like when they're closed, but let me set it to nighttime real quick. as you can see, the flowers open up just like that when it's nighttime. And actually these flowers also have their own separate names, so when it's like this, they're called open eye blossoms. And of course, when it turns to daytime, they eventually close up into this sort of thing, like so, which is called the closed eye blossom. So another interesting fact is that if bees touch or if you try to feed them the opened eye blossom, they will get poisoned, but they still can be tempted by those flowers. So pretty much, hold on, let me summon a bee real quick. So meaning you can still lure bees with this type of flower, but if you try feeding it, they get poisoned like that. So I would not recommend trying to feed it this type of flower, but you still can lure it in case that's your only option of luring it if you don't have any other flowers to use on it. And of course, they completely ignore the closed ones. Like, they just paid absolutely no attention to it. So other things about it is that you can actually put these two flowers in a crafting table in which the closed eye blossom will get you gray dye and the opened one will give you orange dye. And there's one other thing about these flowers too. So as you know, you can put certain types of flowers in a suspicious stew recipe to get you certain effects. So what the closed one does in a suspicious stew recipe, it will give you a nausea effect for 6 seconds, like this. So I guess not so bad, at least the wobbliness of the nausea doesn't last very long. On the other hand, suspicious stew made with an open eye blossom will give you a blindness effect for 10 seconds. So when facing a bunch of hostile mobs or in combat, this is definitely not the best stew to run at all. But it is a great way to troll your friends with it, if anything. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next thing. So let's now head over this way, so I can introduce you to the new mob called the Creaking.
Hello there.
So a little bit about the Creaking. It is a new hostile mob that can only spawn at night from a new type of block called the Creaking Heart, which is this thing right over here, but I'll get to what that is a little later. So anyway, so a Creaking will activate if you are within 12 blocks of one and are looking right at it too. And it will stay activated if you are within 32 blocks of it, even if you're not looking right at it or so. And speaking of looking, if you are not looking at it in the eyes, it will attack you, which they do like 1.5 hearts of damage, but if you look at it, they will stop. Also, Creakings connected to a Creaking Heart are fire resistant and fully knockback resistant, and they are practically invincible too when connected to it. However, if they were summoned by spawn eggs / cheats, they will die in one hit since they only have half a heart of health. Like this one right here was spawned in with a spawn egg. So pretty much, you can literally just use your fist and it will be KO'd like this. Just like that, but ones that are connected to Creaking Hearts, they don't take any damage at all. And one other cool thing about it is that some illager mobs, such as pillagers, vindicators, and evokers, are actually afraid of the Creaking and will run away when one is in range. Which I never thought that would be. So I got some pillagers, evokers, and vindicators, so literally the second I spawn them in, look at them. They pretty much all run away. They're practically afraid of it. So this could be pretty useful as a nice defense in a pillager raid, but I might explain more how that might be later on in this video. So let's put these things back and get rid of the illagers. And now we're going to talk more about the creaking heart. So the creaking heart is a new type of living block, which is what spawns into creaking naturally. It is naturally generated within pale oak trees, which they are dormant during the day and activates at night. To find one, you need to attack a creaking, then the creaking heart sends a particle trail to it, which will lead you right to the heart. And once you break the creaking heart, all the creakings connected to that heart will disappear. They will also disappear when it's daytime and or if they are too far away from the creaking heart they're connected to. But obviously if one was spawned in with spawn eggs or cheats, like this guy right here, they will pretty much ignore that. And you can obtain a creaking heart by using a silk touch tool, preferably an axe. And breaking a creaking heart without silk touch drops a new item called a resin clump, which I'll get into what that is a little later on. But before we get into other things that this update has to offer, we are going to actually hunt for a creaking, so I can show you how this works naturally. So let me go grab some stuff from my camp and I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, so I got some armor and tools, so I'm ready to fight the creaking, or at least find one. So one should be around here somewhere. I see a creaking right over there. When I get in range, he should turn around something. I think it's when you look away. Yep. You see? They try to attack me when I'm not looking at it. Get rid of the skeleton too. So yeah, you can very much see that creakings are pretty much the opposite of an enderman, because enderman you need to not look at it, or otherwise they'll attack. Creakings are the opposite. Okay, so as you can see this particle trail, it looks like the creaking heart is right over there. And as you just saw, hitting the creaking also makes some of the resin clumps spawn on the logs a bit. So it should be right about here. So let me get a potion of night vision so I can see what I'm doing. Also some golden apples, so... Oh, there's the creaking heart. So this is what it pretty much looks like when it's connected to pale oak logs. And I don't think I see any more creakings around, so it's just this one. So, as you can see when I break it, and I'm doing this with my, my normal axe right here. Actually, let me do it with my silk touch for once. So as you can see, the creaking did an interesting twitch animation and it disappeared like so the minute I removed the heart. It's the creaking heart right in my hand, which by the way you need to make sure you place in between two pale oak logs for it to work again. And it doesn't have to be in this biome either, so you could pretty much do like a 1-block totem of this, and they will spawn like that too. And of course, breaking it without silk touch gets you one of these recent clumps. And apparently they also spawn on this tree too. So that's pretty much the deal with the creaking and the creaking heart at best. So make sure you have plenty of gear on hand before taking them on. So now you're probably going to ask, what do I do with this? Well, that's what we're going to talk about next, so be back in 1 second.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so now we're going to check out the new block type called resin. And this is the new item that we just obtained, which is the resin clump. Which, by the way, there is another way of getting these, which is not found in this biome. So you can also find these in woodland loot chests as well. But you still need to come to this biome in order to get the pale oak wood, pretty much. So, if you have 9 of these resin clumps in a crafting table like this, you can actually make a block of resin. And it doesn't really serve much purpose other than to store it in your house and that sort of thing. Because obviously when you put it back in a crafting table, you get 9 of these resin clumps back. And it pretty much takes 1 hit to mine them. But this does have another purpose, which is right here. So if you put 2 pale oak logs and a block of resin in the crafting table like this, you can actually make the creaking heart. So this is a pretty good way to also obtain it if you do not have a silk touch weapon on hand. Which if you do, then I would pretty much go that route, but if you don't, then no sweat. You can always recreate it or craft it again yourself. And what you can also do with the resin clump is that you can put it in a furnace to get one of these, a resin brick. And as you can see, we got a resin brick. So if you put 4 of these in a crafting table like so, you get resin bricks. Which is a nice orange looking brick block right here. And you can also make it into several different variants, just like other stone-like blocks, like stairs, slabs, stairs, and also a chiseled version as well. Either by using a crafting table or using a stone cutter right over here, which you can make a nice structure out of. That's pretty much all there is to it, to the new stuff that's been added to the Minecraft 1.21.4 Gardens Awakening update. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned later today because I got another command block tutorial video coming up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!